Hello everyone. Today I am going to give a lecture on induction motor. This is the last chapter from module 5. What is induction motor? It's an electric motor which operates on AC supply. So the AC motors are used very in industrial applications, and there are different types of induction motor. One is single phase induction motor, another one is three-phase induction motor, and also there are few AC motors like synchronous motors and some special purpose motors. But out of all these types, three-phase induction motors are widely used for various industrial applications. So here the main advantage of three-phase induction motor is it is the one of the property is self-starting property. So there is no need of starting device and higher power factor, good speed regulation, and the robust construction. So induction motor already we have studied DC generator, DC motor, and three-phase generator or synchronous generator or alternator. We have studied how to generate the three-phase AC supply. Here, induction motor, by using the three-phase AC supply, how motor runs, how which converts electrical energy, three-phase electrical energy into a mechanical energy. So this is one of the most common electrical motor used in most applications. So this motor, induction motor, is also called as a asynchronous motor because it runs at a speed less than synchronous speed. So another type is synchronous motor. That motor runs with the synchronous speed. Ns is equal to 120 F by P. Already we have studied in synchronous generator. But induction motor comes under the category of asynchronous motor. So always it runs at a speed less than synchronous speed. So synchronous speed is the speed of the rotation of the magnetic field in a rotary machine and depends upon the frequency and number of poles of machine. So always induction motor runs at a speed less than the synchronous speed because the rotating magnetic field which produced in the stator will generate a flux in the rotor which will make the rotor to rotate. But due to the lagging of the flux current in the rotor with flux current in the stator, the rotor will never reach to its rotating magnetic field, that is the synchronous speed. This is a very important concept in induction motor because here we will be studying what is a rotating magnetic field. So what we have studied so far, something magnetic field generated by the electromagnets, magnetic field generated by the poles or magnets placed either in the stator or rotor. But in the induction motor, the construction is entirely different. It's not similar to synchronous generator or it's not similar to DC machines because here we are not using any magnets. There is no magnetic poles. So here, because of the construction part of the induction motor, which generates the magnetic field in the rotating form, rotating magnetic field. So because of the rotating magnetic field, which links with the conductor placed on the rotor and which generates the EMF and which generates the current, so that which rotates. So the rotation of the rotor and rotation of the magnetic field which is not in the same speed. That's why it is called as asynchronous motor. So asynchronous motor means the speed of the rotating magnetic field and speed of the rotor will not be the same. So always speed of the rotor always less than the speed of the synchronous speed or speed of the rotating magnetic field. So this will be that is called as a asynchronous motor. So there are two types, single phase and three phase induction motor. So we will be studying in detail in this chapter is about the three phase induction motor. So what is the construction of the induction motor? Because there are, based on the rotor, rotor type, there are two types, squirrel cage induction motor and slip ring induction motor. So let us study the construction of the three phase induction motor. It consists of stator and rotor. So here stator, as name indicates, it's the stationary part of the induction motor. It consists of a stator winding placed in the stator of the induction motor, and three-phase supply is given to it. So stator has many slots which is in the cylindrical shape, and it contains stator windings. So three-phase AC supply will be given to the stator windings. And rotor are classified into two types. Either it is a squirrel cage rotor or slip ring rotor. Based on the rotor type, the induction motors are named as squirrel cage induction motor and slip ring or phase wound motor, induction motor. So rotor is a rotating part of the induction motor. It's connected to the mechanical load through the shaft. So there are two types, squirrel cage rotor and slip ring or phase wound rotor. So here what it consists of, stator of the three-phase induction motor. There are three main parts. One is frame, another one is core, another part part of the stator is winding or filling. What is stator frame? It is the outermost part of the three-phase induction motor. Its main function is to support the stator core and the field winding. It acts as a covering and it provides protection and mechanical strength to all the inner parts of the induction motor. Stator core, it's the main function of the stator core is to carry the alternating flux. In order to reduce the eddy current loss, stator core is laminated. Of three parts. One is frame, outermost frame. Then it a core. It contains whatever were the windings and field winding which wound on the stator in the peripheral inner periphery slots. And there are three set of winding, red, yellow, blue, and which is connected to the three-phase AC supply. And rotors are classified as a squirrel cage three-phase rotor, induction motor, or slip ring rotor. So squirrel cage means rotor of the squirrel cage three-phase induction motor is cylindrical in shape and have slots on its periphery, outer periphery. So squirrel cage rotor consists of aluminium or copper bars. These aluminium bars or copper bars are called rotor conductors and placed in the slots on the periphery of the rotor. Rotor conductors are permanently shorted by the copper or aluminium rings at the end called the ends. So you can observe in this diagram, in the second diagram below, you can see there are in the slots on the outer periphery of the cylindrical structure, there are many rods. So on the periphery, the slots are made. In that slots, bar of conductors, either aluminium bars or copper conductors are placed, and which are short circuit or which are shorted or which are connected together at the end by using some end rings. So all the conductors are connected together or all are shorted together. So this is called a squirrel cage because it looks like a squirrel cage, cage of the squirrel. So it is called as a squirrel cage rotor. So squirrel cage rotor winding is made symmetrical as the bars are permanently shorted by end rings. The rotor resistance is very small and it's not possible to add external resistance as the bars are permanently shorted. If you want to increase any load, if you want to add external resistance, it is not possible in a squirrel cage rotor. But 90% of the induction motors are made based on the squirrel cage rotor. The absence of the slip ring and brushes make the construction of the squirrel cage is very simple and robust and hence widely used to three-phase induction motor because here there is no slip rings, there is no brushes compared to the other slip ring induction motor. This is widely used, but conductors are shorted, so you cannot add any external resistance at the load side. This is the one of the point we need to remember. So here the advantages of squirrel cage induction motor as the construction is very simple and rugged and there are no brushes and simple, the motor requires less maintenance. Application, it is used in lathes, drilling machine, fan, blower, printing machines, etc. So 90% of the induction motors are made on related to the based on the squirrel cage So let us study the construction of the three-phase induction motor. It consists of stator and rotor. So here stator, as name indicates, it's the stationary part of the induction motor. It consists of a stator winding placed in the stator of the induction motor and three-phase supply is given to it. So stator has many slots which is in the cylindrical shape and it contains stator windings. So three-phase AC supply will be given to the stator windings. And rotor are classified into two types. Either it is a squirrel cage rotor or slip ring rotor. Based on the rotor type, the induction in this type three-phase induction motor rotor is mounted for the same number of pole as that of the stator, but it has a less number of slots and has less turns per phase of the heavier conductor. The rotor also carries star or delta winding similar to that of the stator winding. Okay, the rotor consists of number of slots and rotor winding are placed inside these slots. The three end terminals are connected together to form connection. So external resistance can be easily connected through the brushes and slip rings and hence used for speed control and improving the starting torque of the three-phase induction motor. Because of the which is connected through slip ring and brushes, it easily we can connect the external resistance so that we can control the speed and improving the starting torque of the three-phase induction motor. And here brushes are used to carry current to and from the rotor winding. Three brushes are further connected to three-phase star connected resistances. So here, due to the presence of slip ring and brushes, rotor construction becomes somewhat complicated. Therefore, it is less used as compared to the squirrel cage induction motor. So these are two types of rotor. Slip ring induction motor are phase wound rotor and squirrel cage rotor. So here rotor as well as stator has the three set of winding and which is connected to slip rings and brushes to the external load. So you can observe in this diagram, in the second diagram below, you can see there are in the slots on the outer periphery of the cylindrical structure, there are many rods. So on the periphery, the slots are made. In that slots, bar of conductors, either aluminium, brass or copper conductors are placed and which are short circuit or which are shorted or which are connected together at the end by using some end rings. So all the conductors are connected together or all are shorted together. So this is called a squirrel cage because it looks like a squirrel cage, cage of the squirrel. So it is called as a squirrel cage. Each other. So you can see here, so already we have studied in the three-phase AC circuit, ER, EY, EB are placed 120 degree apart. Here the flux also phi R, phi Y, phi B also placed 120 degree apart. So phi R leading with respect to phi Y leading with respect to phi B by 120 degree. So here you can write in terms of equation phi R if you take if you consider the flux with the phi R with the red winding, phi R is equal to phi m sin theta, then phi Y is lagging with respect to phi R by 120 degree. So phi m sin theta minus 120 degree. Phi B, it is lagging by 240 degree with respect to phi R. Phi m sin phi minus 240 degree. So this is already we have discussed in the three-phase AC circuit in terms of EMF. But here just to get the derivation or to understand the concept of rotating magnetic field, we need to consider what are the fluxes. What is the value of flux generated in the three set of windings, phi R, phi Y. in this type, three-phase induction motor, rotor is wound for the same number of poles as that of the stator, but it has a less number of slots and has less turns per phase of the heavier conductor. The rotor also carries star or delta winding similar to that of the stator winding. Okay, the rotor consists of number of slots and rotor winding are placed inside these slots. The three end terminals are connected together to form at theta is equal to 60 degree. If you substitute the 60 degree in the 3 equation, phi r is 0.8665 m, phi y is minus 0.8665 m, phi b is 0. Now you can observe theta with respect to the diagram, phi r is plus 0.86. It is represented as OC. Phi y is minus 0.865 m. Okay, it is represented OB. Then one more phi b is 0. So resultant phi t is drawn. You can see in the diagram. So again you will be getting the phi t is equal to 1.5 m. So magnitude will be same. It is rotated through 60 degree in space in clockwise direction. So phi t, similarly if the phasor diagram is drawn for various values of theta, it can be seen that magnitude of phi t is always 1.5 phi m, but it rotates in space, such a magnetic field is called rotating magnetic field. So if you take the resultant magnetic effect of the three magnetic flux, then the magnitude remains same, that is equal to 1.5 times of the maximum flux of phi m, but which rotates with the angle theta is equal to 0, theta is equal to 60, theta is equal to 120, 180, 360. So which rotates in the clockwise direction, but the magnitude remains constant at 1.5 phi m. So that is about the rotating magnetic field. That magnetic field is generated in the stator winding. In the stator winding, that rotating magnetic field generated. So there are two types, single phase and three phase induction motor. So we will be studying in detail in this chapter is about the three phase induction motor. So what is the construction of the induction motor? Because there are, based on the rotor, a rotor type, there are two types, squirrel cage induction motor and slip ring induction motor. Okay, the rotating field produces an effect of rotating poles around a rotor. Let direction of the rotation of the rotating field is clockwise. Now at this instant, rotor is stationary and stator flux, a rotating magnetic field is rotating. So it is obviously that there exists a relative motion between the rotating magnetic field and rotor conductor. Whenever conductor cuts the flux, EMF gets induced in his. So EMF gets induced in the rotor conductor called rotor induced EMF. This is due to the electromagnetic induction. Rotor forms closed circuit because all rotor bars are connected at the end. So induced EMF circulates current through the rotor called rotor current. Let direction of the current goes into paper that we can see in the previous diagram. Any current carrying conductor produces its own flux, so rotor produces flux called rotor flux. For assumed direction of the rotor current, direction of the rotor flux is clockwise. Both fluxes interact with each other. Third diagram. So what is slip? So induction motor never rotates at synchronous speed. So induction motor or rotor of the induction motor will not catch the speed of the rotating magnetic field or speed of the synchronous speed. The speed at which it rotates is hence called synchronous speed, sub-synchronous speed, and motor sometimes called asynchronous motor. So N, capital N, is the actual speed of the rotor, always less than the speed of the rotating magnetic field or synchronous speed. So it can be said that rotor slips behind the rotating magnetic field produced by stator. The difference between the two is called slip speed of the motor. So ns minus n is the slip speed of the motor in RPM. So always speed of the rotor less than the speed of the rotating magnetic field. So the rotating magnetic field speed is represented as synchronous speed. So ns minus n is equal to slip speed. And rotors are classified as a squirrel cage three-phase rotor, induction motor, or slip ring rotor. So squirrel cage means rotor of the squirrel cage three-phase induction motor is cylindrical in shape and have slots on its periphery, outer periphery. So squirrel cage rotor consists of, okay, S is equal to ns minus n divided by ns. Synchronous speed minus actual speed of the rotor divided by synchronous speed. The percentage of slip is represented as ns minus n by ns into 100. In terms of actual speed of motor, n can be represented as in terms of slip. N is equal to ns into 1 minus s. At start, motor is at rest and hence its speed n is 0. So s is equal to 1. At starting point, s is equal to slip is equal to 1 because motor is at rest. Okay. So n is 0. N is 0. So ns minus ns is equal to 0. So s is equal to 1. In this type, three-phase induction motor rotor is wound for the same number of poles as that of the stator, but it has a less number of slots and has less turns per phase of the heavier conductor. The rotor also carries star or delta winding similar to that of the stator winding. Okay, the rotor consists of number of slots and rotor winding are placed inside these slots. The three end terminals are connected together to form 5%. So what is the frequency of the rotor currents? So already I have discussed what is relative speed or slip speed. It is ns minus n. What is slip? Ns minus n by ns into 100 in terms of percentage. And what is synchronous speed? Already we have discussed 120 f by p. That is what frequency of the rotor current. So we can write ns minus n is equal to 120 f r by p. So what is the slip speed? It is the difference between the synchronous speed and the actual motor, and it is equal to 120 f r by p. Okay. So dividing equation by equation 10.51, ns minus n divided by ns is equal to 120 F bar by P divided by 120 F by P. So, but Ns minus N divided by Ns is equal to slip. So, S is equal to Fr by F. So, Fr, what is the frequency of the rotor induced EMF? Fr is equal to slip times of the supply frequency. This is very important derivation. Rotating magnetic field derivation and derivation for the frequency of the rotor current is also very important. So, Fr is equal to S into F. So, we need to consider rotor in the running condition. Ns minus N is equal to 120 Fr by P, and Ns synchronous speed of the rotating magnetic field 120 by F, 120 F by P. If you take the if you divide two equation, you will be getting the Ns minus N by Ns is equal to Fr by F. Ns minus N by Ns already we have discussed, it is slip. So, S is equal to Fr by F, or frequency of the rotor current is equal to slip times of the frequency of the supply. Okay, so practically it is 1% to 5%. So, at full load it is 5%, at no load it is 1%. So, it is 0.01 times of the supply frequency will be the frequency of the rotor current. Okay, so this is the slip speed of the rotor induction motor. And one more star delta starter, it is used to to run the induction motor at starting point. So here you can observe squirrel cage rotor with the stator winding. Squirrel cage rotor with the stator winding. There are three set of winding, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, which are connected to star connection at the starting using the TP-DP switch, which is switch over to here. After during the running position, it will be connected automatically to the delta connection. Okay, delta connection. What is the working? This is the cheapest starter for all. It uses TP-DP switch, connects the stator winding in star at start, then delta while normal running. Hence, this starter is suitable for those motors designed to run with a delta connected stator winding. Okay, initially when the switch in the start position, stator winding gets connected to the star. Hence, the phase voltage gets reduced by the factor 1 by root 3 because VPG is equal to VL by root 3. Due to this, static current also gets reduced by 1 by root 3. When motor attains 50 to 60% of normal speed, switch is thrown to the run position, hence winding gets connected to delta where VPH is equal to VL is equal to rated voltage. Each phase of the winding gets rated voltage. The operation of the switch can be automatic by using relay, which ensures that motor will not start with the switch in run position. As this is cheap and maintenance free is frequently used, limitation of this starter are that is suitable for normal delta connected motors, the factor by which voltage changes 1 by root 3 and cannot be changed. So this is the simple type of star delta connection. So what will be the use? Because sometimes what will happen, though if it is a not connected to the star connection at the starting position, because VPH is equal to VL at the delta connection. So what will happen? Suddenly the current through the rotor stator winding increases as well as rotor conductor also increases at the rest position. Once the rotor starts, then it will generate the current and which starts rotating. At the stationary, whenever the rotor is at the stationary position, if you supply the current, high current, it will damage the circuit. So at the starting point, when the rotor is at the standstill position, the stator windings are connected to the star type winding. Okay, it will be connected in the form of star. So that VPH is equal to VL by root 3. So input voltage through the windings are reduced and so that current also reduces. Once it takes 50 to 60% of the speed, then automatically the DP switch thrown to the delta connection, so that where VPH is equal to VL and it will be reaches the rated voltage. So this is the simple construction for the starter, star delta starter for the induction motor. Okay, so you have to study in this chapter what is the working principle of the induction motor, what are the types of rotor, which is squirrel cage rotor and phase wound rotor or slip ring rotor, and then what is the working principle of the rotor, what is the rotating magnetic field, very important, explain the rotating magnetic field and how it generates, how it produces, the constant magnitude, and what is slip and what is the frequency of the rotor current. It is S, Fr is equal to S into F, and star delta starter for the induction motor. I will explain, or I will give the problems from the induction motor tomorrow. So go through this chapter and study for the final exam. Thank you.